Well, hello. Hopefully we've got a few of you joining us. I should really stop opening like that. I do that every time. Well, hello, don't I? Good evening, Jules. You're keen? So that means we're up and running on YouTube. So hopefully all we've got to find out is that we're up and running on Facebook and we're good to go. Fingers crossed. Hope you've had a good week, Jules. Enjoying retirement, I hope. So let's see if anybody else is going to be joining it. Might just be me and you, Jules. You never know. Fingers crossed a couple more. I've also discovered, if you could see our layout on the screen here, I have lots of little boxes. Hi, Sally Ann. And a bigger box that I can see what you're seeing. But it's a repeat of one of the smaller boxes. And I keep looking at the big box because that's obviously easy for me to see. But I should be looking at the small one because that means I'm looking straight on. But hey ho, we'll get through it. Okie doke, we're all good. Good evening, Tina. Hi, Kirsty. Hi, Karen. Blimey, lots of you flying in now. So, hi, Tina. I hope you've all had a lovely week. Can you believe, do you know our workshop? We've got Tina and Tina on here, both come to our workshop. We have another Tina also at the workshop now. And it's not really that common of a name, I don't think, but lots of people called Tina out of, that's quite a high percentage out of how many we have come into our workshops. Hi, Christine. Hi, Mary. Hi, Trisha. So you're all tuning in for our new releases. I'm going to keep you hanging on for a minute because I'm just going to tell you about a few things that are back in stock first. So bear with me while I grab my back in stocks first. So you all really enjoyed the last workshop, obviously. You can't dislike your name, Tina. Hi, Pat. You're on holiday in Norfolk. Where are you, Sally Ann? Kirsty, no, we are not at West Point this weekend. That's actually on one of my list of things for people to know about. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Mum. So Kirsty's asking if we're at West Point this weekend for the ICHF craft show. We are not. Some of our collection will be. It's on the Stamp Hut stand. So if you pop on there and find Stamp Hut, you will find some of them. She doesn't have the full collection, but she has some of them. So you'll be able to get a couple of bits, Kirsty, if you are going. But none of the new stuff because it hasn't arrived in time. Hi, Lynn. Already ordered. Look wonderful. Thank you very much, Lynn. So Lynn and Amanda, there's two ladies that always order, usually order from us. I can't guarantee that you're going to order. I hope you like it that you can order. And I always laugh to see, because it's always a bit of a race to see who's first in. Anyway, back to what we are doing. Hello, Catherine. Hi, Veronica. Everyone's flying in now. So back to what I was telling you about, stuff that's back in stock. So we had stuff fly out after the last show. I was always Mandy as a little. Christine's put, my mum's always called me Tina unless she was cross, then I was Christine. I was Mandy when I was little, and then I was Amanda Ann when I was in trouble. I think we've all got that, haven't we? Hi, Margaret. Hi, Catherine. Or Kathy. Hi, Brenda. Right, back to what we're doing. So back in stocks. Right, let's get some of these bits and pieces off here. We need to go here. We need to take this off. And here we go. So back in stock, we've got our Starbright die. A Starbright Flourish die. That was what we demoed with last week. Or the last live. In fact, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. There we go. So this was what part of the last demo that we did. And that flew out after that demo. It was flying out anyway, but even more so. So that is now back in stock. We also have the mistletoe die back in stock. We also have the fancy frame die back in stock. Sorry, I'm whizzing through and I'm not giving you time to even look, am I? Hi, Eileen. Hi, Margaret. We also have our snowflake background die back in stock. Hi, Carol. Mum, you're letting all my secrets out. Mum's put on there, and now she is Panda. LOL. Right, so just a couple of quick ones I want to show you to do with this die, because I remembered I hadn't really shown you many of these. So this is one of the cards I have made with the background die. So I have used the bow from the mistletoe die. And then this is our snowflake background die. So it's this larger one, obviously with the hexagon die as well. So I've used it to cut the hexagon out. And I've put this, the background die in between 2 pieces of acetate. And it's the heavier weight acetate, more like construction weight. And it just gives you like an aperture card. So quite cool. I've done it on shiny paper, which you can't really see, but it's mirror card in there. Hi Michelle. And then I've done another one, which is a 7x7. So that one's an 8x8. This one's a 7x7. And I've popped a little sentiment inside this one as well. But the 7x7 fits the die in perfectly because that's the size of the die, roughly 7x7 inches. So if you want to do it so that you don't see the die at all on the background, 7x7 card is the one to go with. And then there was a couple that I wanted to have a little bit. So I cut it out a couple of times, and I've done one. Can I pick it up? I don't know if it'll pick it up. This one at the background is glitter card, the non-shed glitter card, and then I've got some mirror card on the top, and I've just given that little bit of detail. So I mean, you could brighten that up, put other colors on it, but it's just something a little bit different. I'm trying to get it so you can see that it's a proper full see-through acetate card. So again, I've done it between 2 pieces of acetate because it means that you don't catch on it, because obviously there's a few flicky up bits and stuff like that, and there's a lot of detail on that die. Trying to get you so that you can, there we go, that might work better. Yeah, there you go. So there's a lot of detail on that die, so by putting it in between two pieces of acetate, it stops that bit getting caught. So that's just a couple of ideas on what you could do with that massive that lovely big snowflake background die, so which is also, as I've said, back in stock. And then we have one more back in stock, which is that hexagon, which I've used here. So this is the larger hexagon, but remember it comes in 3 separate sizes. Amanda, are you that desperate to join us? Amanda's at the theatre. I've popped in whilst I'm waiting for the show to start. So Amanda's at the theatre, but she's still joining us on our Facebook Live. Bless you. Now that's commitment, isn't it? Right, I'm trying to find places to put things. I have to put it up in the corner where I've just taken those 2 aperture cards out of. I think. No, we won't. We'll go in our secret stash drawer. It's not a secret stash, it's just the drawer I put everything into so that they don't get in the way. Right, so I want to get onto the new ones as quickly as we can, because I know that's what you've all tuned in for. Hi, Liz. Right, so let's get started, shall we? First of all, we have our flower creations. Oh, you're getting a sneak peek. Look. Our flower creations. So you get this lovely big flower here, and these sentiments all fit inside the center. So you can have it either way. You can have it on an angle. You can have it straight up and down. You can have it however you like. And then you've got sending hugs, thank you for caring, thank you, and birthday wishes on that one. These are all our $9.99 size. Then we have spring flowers frame. So I know we've done a couple of different frames, but you've all seemed to really like them. So I'm trying to find things that you all like and still enjoy using. Thank you, Amanda. I'm glad you like them. Hi, Carol. Right. So again, it's a $9.99 set. So this would work on any, it would fit on an 8x8 card. It would fit on the 7x7, 6x6. You could probably get it onto a 5. They're roughly 4x6, but you would probably get this one on a 5. Then we have our floral spray. So you get Those We Love Don't Go Away, They Walk Beside Us Every Day. I know lots of you have asked me to bring that back, so it's in a slightly different font, slightly smaller. Enjoy every minute of your special day, and you are never more than a thought away. This lovely big stamp in the middle, and then you've got 1, 2, 3 smaller individual stamps as well. And then we have also got leaves and branches. This one you really don't need to do huge amounts to. It's kind of a really clean, simple, easy cut stamp to use, and don't try and make it too difficult. You can jazz it up as much as you like, but you don't have to make it difficult. And then last but not least on the stamps, we have got floral garland. And this one says, wishing you a very happy birthday, thank you, and sorry you're feeling under the weather, and a hello. this is the one we're using tonight. And I have, do you know, when you sit, I say this all the time, even though I design these stamps, sometimes I sit down and have a complete blank on what I'm going to do, just like all of you do. And obviously we do these lives and all of our demo videos and all of our samples to give you inspiration. And I sat down with this today and instantly I knew what I was going to do with it. And I love it when that happens with our stamps, because then I hopefully think that it passes on to you and you know what to do. So hopefully, fingers crossed, you do. So we're going to whisk quickly onto our stencils. So then we have got our wavy abstract lines, and I have actually done some so that you can see what they look like made up. You will see these on the TV as well. And then we have got our spiral stencil. I love this one. Love, love, love this one. Spiral stencil. Again, pop a sentiment in there. You have to do nothing else to that. But I love it. This is Mum's favourite. And this is called Sound Waves. And this is our Sound Waves. And that's what that one looks like. Again, I've been playing with this one. Believe it or not, playing with this one and our Leaves and Branches stamp. And it looks quite cool. Been doing demo prep for TV, you see. And then Floral Hearts stencil. That's exactly what it did when I did it too. Amanda and Sally Ann both say spirograph comes to mind. And in fact, I wanted to call it that, and then I thought, oh, I better not, just in case it's spirograph is like a trade name. I don't know if it is or it isn't. So that's why we got what we got. So we've got Floral Hearts. And I'm going to show you some samples that Hazel's done for us with this. It could be snowflakes, Amanda. You're very right. So Hazel's done some lovely samples for us. Bless her heart, in a hurry because she's had to go off up north. So she did it in, I think she had about 4 days to do all of these samples for us. Bless her. And she's actually embossed this onto like a matte mirror card. I'll show you in a minute. And it looks really cool. And then last but not least, our rainbow dots. You know me, I've got to have some dots. And that's what this one looks like. So again, you could make this really 3D and I think, and I'm going to try it out. I'm not going to try it out tonight, but if we emboss this, it would really make it really pop and look really 3D'd. So that's all of our brand new bits. I have got these in absolutely no particular order now, but I'm going to show you some of the samples that the lovely Hazel has made for us. The sentiment on this one is from the Floral Garland, and you can't see it. I don't think it's going to show up on here, but she's embossed this onto card and then coloured it in before she removed the stencil. And then Sorry You're Feeling Under the Weather. It's a perfect one for that. And then, as I said, she's also done one that's just matte mirror card. Can you see that? How that's embossed? What a perfect embossing folder that makes. But you've done it with your stencil, so you've got the best of both worlds. Then we have, and that sentiment that she's used on there is from Just Add Cake, which is one of our older stamp sets, so you might find that around. So we've got Floral Creations here, and the sentiment is also from Floral Creations. So how cool does that look? And she's done it in 2 different colours, so the flowers are, the middle one's slightly darker. But that looks really cool like that. But using the same stamp and even the same size card, this is how different they can look. Floral Creations stamp on a 7x7 card base. So this is exactly the same card. Carol's just got rid, she's apologising for being late, so she's just got rid of the grandkids and granddog. Do you mean they've just left for the evening? Got rid. Right, so that's exactly the same card, exactly the same stamps, just slightly different colours and same size card base. But how different they look. And then we have the Spring Flower Frame, and this one, sentiment is from Floral Garland, and this is a 6x6 base. So as I said, you could get away with it on a 5x5, but just It might have to be a 5.5, but a 6x6 would fit through as a normal letter, so long as you don't put some gems on it. There's a couple of little gems in the centres of these. So if you did it without the gems, it would perfectly fit through as a standard size letter. And exactly the same again, spring flower frame, and the sentiment on this one is from Balloon Corners. But there's no right or wrong, and I say this all the time. Just because it's in the packaging one way round, i.e. this one is in the packaging this way up, doesn't mean it has to get... Oh my goodness. Martin has just piped up. He says, getting low on stock, Panda. And he shouldn't be, my nickname shouldn't be all over my Facebook Lives, Mum and Martin. So thank you all very, very much for those of you that are shopping ahead. I forgot to mention you can. These are available on our website. They are pre-order, and I think it's for the 8th-ish of October. But they are available to order online. If you are going to do it, by the sounds of it, you need to be quick. I know we sold quite a few before we even came live tonight, because I do sneak them on there just before. So yeah, this is exactly the same card, but don't be scared to play about with it. The worst thing that can happen is that you ruin a piece of card. So if you're unsure about something, stamp it out first onto just photocopy paper, just normal printing paper, just to see what you think and how you can play with it before you make it onto your cardstock. Because I know cardstock isn't the cheapest in the world these days. Now we've got Floral Spray, and the sentiment from this one is also from Floral Spray. So this one looks like it's been done on watercolour cardstock, and she's just inked around the edge. These are all done by Hazel, by the way, because I haven't had time to do any of my own yet. She's just inked like a frame in there first and then stamped that on the top. Beautiful. And then she's done another one, 7x7 this time, a Floral Spray, and the sentiment is also Floral Spray, and she's used the mesh stencil in the background. But she's 3D'd this, so she's just fussy cut this. And this is the thing I always tell you about fussy cutting. If you are not the most confident fussy cutter in the world, then don't cut in too close to the lines. You can't tell that she's put from a distance that she's got a white line all the way around the edge of that, because your eye focuses on the stamp, not on your cutting out. So if you're not the most confident of stampers, can you see how she's gone around the edge and left a white gap? Also, with this one, you've got some weaker points in here, so I would recommend doing that if you were going to 3D it. It just gives it that extra strength. And then just a couple of little pearl gems on there. Sentiment on there, you're never more than a thought away. Good evening, Jill. So we are now going to jump over to our Leaves and Branches, and the sentiment on this one is from Flower Creation, and the background is Wavy Abstract Lines. I did, Amanda, and yes, I did say fussy cutting, and yes, you will be doing some at the workshop in a couple of weeks' time. So she has embossed this through the die cut machine. So it's 7x7 stencil embossed just onto white card, and then cut this out with an oval stencil of her die of her own, stamped on there. Beautiful. She doesn't say what colour ink she's used, Memento Black, but coloured with Copic markers. But again, using the same size card, same everything. Sentiments from Floral Spray, Leaves and Branches. Look at that, 2 completely different cards. So again, she's masked off here just so that you can ink it, and just stamped and embossed with black ink. Don't need to do anything else to it. That's what I said, keep this one clean and simple. It really does look effective. And then we've got the last few to go through here. So this one is a 7x7 base, Floral Garland, and the sentiment on this one is from Floral Best, and the mesh stencil used in the background. So mix and match everything that you've already got. You don't have to just stick with the sentiments that come with that set of stamps. You've got lots of other sentiments around, so use them. They don't have to be these particular ones. So that's really cool. And then another this one's a 6.5 by 6.5 base. Bless her, she's writing the sizes on there for me now. Floral Garland, and the sentiment is also Floral Garland. Again, really subtle, light colours, simple. You don't need to make this difficult. Nothing on these ones need to be difficult. The detail is there for you. Make them as simple and as easy as you want them to be. And then last couple of samples, a 6x6 card, abstract wave lines, And the sentiment is from Sentiments. So if you're really stuck on what to do, a great men's card. I hope you have a fabulous day. That's all you need to do to it. Just change up the colours. By the looks of it, she's put some dark ink all the way around the edge just to make it pop on that card base. And we have 2 more samples to go, and these are both from Sound Waves, and they're 6x6 cards. And the sentiment from this one is from All About Flowers. And then last but not least, again, Sound Wave stencil, and she's used the sentiment from Floral Garlands on this one. That just shows you how different you can make those samples look. Right, so that is all the samples. Now I'm going to try and put these to one side so we don't drop them everywhere, because you know me, I'm quite good at doing things like that. We'll get all of these samples out of the way, and then I can start with a quick demo I'm going to do with you. So here we go. What are we using in tonight's demo? Let me grab all the bits and pieces. So you have choices here. I am using some watercolour cardstock, and I'm very pleased to say I have finally found a company, and I'm waiting on some samples to come in of watercolour cardstock. So hang in there, people, if you're after it. So we're using Versamark Onyx Black, our sticky glue that comes in the 2 sizes. I'm not going to lay this one down because I'm about to use it. Anti-static bag, if you remember to use it, it's always a good thing. If you're not using watercolour cardstock, then I recommend the super smooth cardstock that we sell, 250 or 300 GSM. And we've got some of our black cardstock, just for matting and layering. The stamps we are using tonight are our Floral Garland set. So you've got wishing you a very happy birthday, thank you, sorry you're feeling under the weather, and hello on there. So, shall we get started? Oh, better give you a bit more of what we're using. Crystal clear embossing powder, as per normal. And the pens I am using tonight are our blender pen, which is 999, wine red 024, and mid green 046. I think that's everything. But before we get started, I just want to say something to you. We've had lots of emails from people recently. If you've missed it on our newsletter and on Facebook, we have launched an account option on our website. You do not have to have an account to order through us. All we've done this for is for lots of you that have got a bigger collection of our stamps and have started ordering doubles. You don't need to do that anymore. From the time you register for your account, if you want an account, again, you don't have to have one. Going forward, it will allow you to look back at what you've already ordered. Obviously, it can't give you what you've already ordered in the past, but this is just going forward. It is something completely different to our loyalty scheme. The 2 are not linked, so don't try and log into your account to see what loyalty numbers you've got. They're not linked, and it will not show you. If you want to know anything like that, it's an email to us. To get your loyalty points, you must remember to put your loyalty number in the discount box. If you've got a gift voucher, you put your gift voucher number in the loyalty discount box, and then your number in the customer notes if you want to cover your backside. If it's a loyalty voucher that you're using, your loyalty number is part of that code that you're going to be putting in, so we will still see it. So please don't panic. You are not getting... the 2 are not linked. Your account and your loyalty number are 2 completely different things. You can opt in for an account, but you don't have to have an account. Don't have to have an account to shop with us. You can shop as you have previously done. It's just an option that we've put in there for you if you want to use it. Right, that's me with all the formal bits. So let's go back to this bit. I'll get these out of the way. Carol, I'm not sure if it does. That's a good question. Hopefully Martin might be able to answer that. The website side of it is more Martin's side. Let me just pop this question up on here if I can get it to do it. So she says, does it pre-populate your address on the order if you are logged in? I would assume, Carol, it does. I can't guarantee it does. Hopefully Martin will be able to pipe up, or I will try and get a response to that. Evening, Maxine, you sneaked in there. Hopefully we'll get an answer to that. Mum, if you're still watching, maybe you could message Martin and ask him, because he may not still be watching. Because he's... doesn't always. You've missed all the new release, Susan even. But we will be running back over it before the end of this thing. So, right, so what do we need for tonight? Obviously, I have pre-done some of it, but nice and easy. Martin, I believe it does. So, yes, I think it does. We will double check that, though. It's a new system that our website providers have brought in. So, we're all still finding it, new things on it too. So, right. So, what are we using tonight? 8x8 card blank. 7 3/4 by 7 3/4 black card. And I'm using watercolor card, but if you haven't got watercolor card, do this with white card and whatever inks you've got. Neat, lovely. Thank you for joining us. Have a nice evening. Hopefully you'll be able to catch us up later. Right, so that is really easy tonight. That's all the cardstock you need. So as you always know, I always get rid of as much of it as I can before we start making stuff. So I'm going to put my black down first. Let's take this off. Okay. Let's put the black on there, and I'm going to pop that off to one side. You'll be getting in trouble, Amanda, for being on TV. To being on Facebook and you on your iPhone, whatever it is, while you're in the theatre, they'll be getting cross with you. Right, so we have got our watercolour cardstock. I'm going to just anti-static it while I remember. We're taking our VersaFine Onyx Black and our Floral Garland stamp. Lots and lots of little light taps all over. So I'm going to do one on the bottom, roughly in the middle, press down. Now, it's like most of our stamps, they're largish stamps, so don't be scared to give it time for that ink to soak through. Then we're going to put some, if I can find it, I've covered it over, some crystal clear embossing powder on the top. But I'm not going to heat this one yet. I'm going to wait because I'm going to do them both at the same time. And crystal clear embossing powder, give that a light tap to take the excess off. And we're going to put that back in the pot. And we're going to do the same on the other side. So I've spun it round. I'm going to take that same stamp, going to ink that up, lots of little light taps all over. And then roughly about the same as the one above. If it's not perfect, it doesn't matter. Those of you that are on here that are coming to our workshop at Ravenwood Hall Hotel, hopefully you will have received your supplies list, and I need to know what you want to eat as soon as possible. So if you are on here and watching and you haven't sent that email back to me yet, please do so. Right. Again, crystal clear all over the top of that. Light flick to take that off. And put the excess back in the pot. We would be putting a sentiment on here too, but I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to heat these two up first. If you want to, you're more than welcome to go and pop your sentiment on there at the same time, and then you can heat it all at the same time and it's easier, but you don't have to. So again, heating from underneath. Going to get my heat gun as warm as possible before it hits the cardstock, and obviously watercolour cardstock is slightly thicker, so it takes a little bit longer to heat up and to melt. Bear with me while I do this. I should have done this ahead, shouldn't I? But I didn't, so we're going to just quickly run through these. If you are heating from underneath, be aware it does get a lot warmer under there than you think. So bear with me a second, Jill. I will just heat this up, and then while I'm colouring it in, I will tell you all about it. Most people have already heard our story, but... Oh, and it was lovely to meet you, Jill, the other day at the show. It's always nice to put a face to a name. So we are nearly there. Bear with us a second. And then just give it a little bit of a wiggle just to iron that, help with that, flattening that out. So Jill has asked, I don't know if it will all come up, but we'll try. It says, how long after you started crafting did Honeydew Crafts come into being? Was it something you thought about doing from the start? So Honeydew Crafts came out, we launched as Honeydew Crafts on the 11th of August in 2011. I had a company from 2005 called Your Touch of Craft, and we had 3 shops. I closed my 3 shops when my father passed away, and we started Honeydew Crafts, and our new range came out in 2014, our own range. Till then we were selling other people's products. It wasn't something originally I was going to do, was bring out my own range, but it did, and I'm so glad I did. Martin, I would say, was probably the big drive behind that. He kept saying, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. And obviously I was a bit nervous to do it, but the first show we ever did was a Ross Papercraft show up in Edinburgh. It was our first, the release of our first set of stamps. We had 10 designs, 12 of each. The show opened at 9 o'clock and we sold out. Sorry, the show opened at 10 o'clock and we sold out by 10:30. I had no website at that point, and they said, oh, is it on your website? Yes, but it's under construction. It will be live by Tuesday. Martin had never done a website in his life before. Learned how to do it on the Saturday night, or sorry, Sunday morning when we got back. We left there Saturday night, got home Sunday morning, and by Tuesday we had a live website. And again, our pre-orders all sold out. So we were really, really pleased, and always been very humbled and very appreciative of everybody that chooses to shop with us. We know that you all work really hard for your pennies, and we do really appreciate that you choose to shop with us. So thank you all very much. We've had lots of you follow us right from the start, and it's just amazing. And it's lovely to see that you are still with us, so you're obviously still liking what we're doing. So thank you all very much, and I hope that answers your question, Jill. So I am just going to zoom us in onto one part of this, hopefully without it going too blurred. Right, so this is the stamp we're using. I'm using Wine Red and our blender pen. That was a long time ago, Catherine. Hi, Linda. I wonder why you struggled to get onto YouTube tonight. Fingers crossed. So we are using these 2 pens to start with. I tend to hold mine like you can see at the minute, but that's just my choice. you can do it however you want. The lids don't ever stay on properly and you end up with ink everywhere. So so when I'm doing this, I'm just going to pop a little bit of colour in the middle. And this is because it's watercolour cardstock, I can do this. On regular white cardstock or on regular non-watercolour cardstock, they do not blend as easily. So I'm just going to show you this first. Now, obviously, it picks up some of... where's my camera? This way is where I need to go. It picks up some of the colour on the end of the brush. At the end of colouring this in, all I do is take a piece of kitchen paper, run that over the top once I'd finished. That takes all the colour... oh, good grief, I've combed in too far. All the colour out at the end of the brush. So don't panic. The other way you can do this is to put a little bit of colour on your craft mat. I've zoomed in too close now, I think. And you can pick up some of the colour on your brush. You don't want too much of it on there. And then you are going to just colour from there. And as it colours out off your brush, it will also blend. So there's different options to do that. I'm just going to take the ink I've got off there off because I'm not going to do it that way tonight. I'll bring you back in the middle. So literally a little bit of colour down. You don't need very much. And then you're going to go in with your blender pen and just pull that colour out. Once you're finished, scribble on your piece of kitchen paper and it will take your colour right back. Now, I have done this ahead of time. Do not forget to blot. We're too close. I'm bringing you back out a little bit. Be making you all feel sick. Don't forget to blot it as you're going along. The colour spreads really, really quickly. So once you've coloured all of that in, we have one I made earlier. You're going to do exactly the same thing with your foliage as well. So the two different greens, or sorry, one different green with the blender pen. You can mix and match a couple of greens together if you want to give you a slightly different look. But that's our finished topper card, I suppose is what we're going to call it. So we're just going to stick that down. As I said, there's no dimension to this, so it's perfect. You could do it on a slightly smaller card, 7x7, 6x6, and you could pop that easily through the post without adding any extra postage charges to it. We're going to just stick that down on there. Preferably straight, Amanda. Now, ladies and gents, if we've got any gents watching us, if you see me do this on telly, be really surprised because this is going to be one of my demos for TV. So you've got to act really surprised you've never seen it before. So you all know that my big thing is about taking your card design from the front and carrying it through into your card. I'm pulling us back out again. We're just too close. So carry it through your card. It makes your card finish look really professional. So all I've done is a version of it on the inside as well. I did emboss it and I have coloured it, but this is just straight onto the card base. So there's no blending, nothing to make it difficult. Just wanted to carry that design from the front all the way through your card. That is my big thing. Try and make them follow through. It just makes your homemade cards a handmade, professionally finished card. So that's how easy that card is to make. Obviously, it would take me a few minutes to colour it in, which you don't need to stand and watch me colour or sit and watch me colour for ages. That's all it is, colouring that in, popping a sentiment on there, and you've done. Such a simple card to make. So we're going to run back through the new bits. Do you want me to just go back over the sizes for you, just so you know? So we've got an 8x8 card, 7 3/4 inch square black card, and 7.5 inch white card or watercolour card, whichever one you want to use. So simple. Thank you very much, Linda. Linda's ordered the bundle from us, so bless her heart. She's struggled to get on YouTube and I don't know why. So I am just going to run through the new ones again quickly with you. So we have got the floral garland that you just saw me using. And on this you get wishing you a very happy birthday, thank you, sorry you're feeling under the weather, and hello. And then we've got our leaves and branches stamp. Clean, simple, easy stamp to use, as you saw from Hazel's lovely samples. Then we've got floral spray. So with this one, you get 1, 2, 3 small little stamps, and then you get those we love that don't go away. They walk beside us every day. Enjoy every minute of your special day, and you're never more than a thought away. That rhymes. You'll never enjoy every minute of your day. You're never more than a thought away. Well, that was without even trying. Check me out. A spring flower frame. I know you all love our frames, so hopefully you will enjoy this one as much. So that's just a mini version of our garland that you've just seen me use, and then a corner version of using the same foliage. And then last but not least, on the stamps, we've got flower creation. And these little sentiments all fit in here. So you've got sending hugs, thank you for caring, thank you, and birthday wishes. Then we're going to go over to our stencils. So our first stencil I'm going to show you this time is our rainbow dots. These are all 7 by 7, by the way. And that's what it's going to look like. Then we have got our floral hearts stencil. Enjoy your evening, Christine, who's now having to leave us. So that's our floral heart stencil. Then we have got our sound waves stencil, and that's what it looks like. Then we have got our spirals stencil, and that's what that looks like. And then last but not least, we have got our wavy abstract lines, and that's what that one finishes up looking like. So that's all the new stuff. I have shown you all the fabulous samples. Quick run back through on what we've got back in stock as well. So we have got our mistletoe dies back in stock. We've got our fancy frames back in stock. We have got our Star Bright Flourish die back in stock, which is the one you saw me use on last week's live, not last week, the week before's live. Then we've got our snowflake background die back in stock, and our nesting hexagons back in stock. We have also got balloons on their way. They will be with us Tuesday, I believe. That's been out of stock for a while. I haven't even got a sample of that one to show you, because I even managed, my sample even got snapped up by somebody. But yes, the balloons die is also coming back in stock. So if you've been waiting for that, it's on its way. So yeah. Right, so back over to me. You get me now. I'm going to pop this one up here quickly. So a couple of things I need to tell you about before we're done this evening. That was a quick live, really, wasn't it? Tina has asked when we're back on TV. So that's on my list for me to tell you about in a moment, Tina. So as I mentioned earlier, we are not at the ICHF craft show this weekend in Exeter. But they are on, the Stamp Hut is there, and she has a small collection of our stuff there. So if you are going along, you might be able to find some of the bits you're looking for there. So on the next place you will find us is Sunday the 5th of October at Craftorama in Lincoln. We're at the Lincoln Showground in that lovely new big venue. So we will hopefully see lots of you there. And sneak peek, my mum will be there to demo. And then TV, our next TV, where these will be the official TV launch of, is Tuesday the 7th of October, and we are on at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. So if you want to watch some more demos, then that's where you'll need to be for those. Now, technically, we should have our next Facebook Live on the, I think it's the 9th of October. I am not physically capable of making that one work. We have got TV on the 7th. We've got to then pack all those orders and get those shipped within 24 hours. Then we have got to pack up our van on the Thursday to head up to Newcastle for a workshop on the Friday, which means all of my products, all of my samples, all of my demo equipment will all be packed away. I'm really sorry, ladies and gents, I'm not going to make the 9th of October, but we will be back on the 16th of October. You never know, it might be more new stuff by then. So our next YouTube live, Facebook live, will be on Thursday the 16th of October at 7 p.m. Our next TV is Tuesday the 7th of October at 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. Our next show that we will physically be at and Mum will be demoing at, for those of you that haven't seen, and Mum hasn't been at shows for a while because Martin couldn't drive, so we couldn't take the 2 vehicles we needed. Margaret, I'm glad you like the new stamps. Thank you very much. So Mum will be up there on Sunday the 5th of October, Craftorama in Lincoln, at that lovely big venue that we moved to. We will see you in Newcastle, Catherine. Thank you very much. So I think that's everything. I don't think there's anything else I need to tell you about. Remember that new account system that we put on our website. It is optional. You do not have to have an account to shop with us. But if you want to, and to be able to see back what you've ordered going forwards, you won't be able to see anything you've previously ordered, but what you're using going forwards, you need to register for an account. It is completely encrypted. We don't have access to any of that details. I believe it populates your address, etc., but I will get that double checked. Brenda, that's love. You make me blush, Brenda. Brenda has put card is very pretty, Amanda. You amaze me how you think of all the inspiration you do. Sometimes I amaze myself at what I come up with because I don't always know what I'm going to do. But thank you very much. That's really nice of you to say that, Brenda. I'm glad you liked it. Now we'll work out how to take you off again. Yeah, so you don't have to have that account, but if you want it, then it's there for you. And it is completely separate from your loyalty number. So if you have a loyalty number, that and the account are not connected. It will not show you how many points you've got. It will not tell you anything like that. You just need to contact us if you want to find out how many points you've got, because that's a completely separate system. The vouchers are the only part that isn't automated on our loyalty scheme now, and that's me that has to send those out. So bear with me. Sometimes I take a bit longer than I should, and I can only apologise for that, but there's only one of me. So I think that's everything. If anybody's got any questions, let me know. You can either email us on honeydewcrafts@gmail.com. You can message us on Facebook. Don't forget that we have the closed group for Facebook as well. So Honeydew Crafts Be Inspired. You can pop on there, post all of your own projects made with Honeydew Crafts products, which we love to see. And obviously there's a couple of bits and pieces that we put on there that only goes on there. My mother-in-law has put well, so hopefully that was meant to be something. I think that's everything. Who knows? I'm sure I've forgotten something. But if you have any questions, just give us a quick email or post on Facebook and we will answer as soon as we can. Lovely to see you all. I hope you like the new products. They are available to pre-order on our website for dispatch. I think it's the 8th of October they're on there for dispatch. If anybody else has any questions, shout me. Otherwise, have a lovely evening. Hopefully we'll see lots of you while I'm on TV for some more inspiration. And some of you at the Lincoln show on the 5th of October. Have a lovely evening and we will see you all again.